Talaga na sakwe. O people papa. O people papa. Hey.
Nalo sakwe go fuck it. O pipi o papa. O pichi o papa.
Do you know that song? Do you know who the chief custodian of this dance is? Come on, Bobrisky, show us. That is Bobrisky's signature dance move. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. Do you know who Bobrisky is? 33-year-old Bobrisky, born Idris Okuneye Olanrewaju, is a very popular Nigerian transgender woman. He was born a man on the 31st of August 1991. He had his primary and secondary education there in Lagos and then proceeded to the University of Lagos for his bachelor's degree. He holds a BSc in accounting. But hey, if you think that this video is just me sitting here and giving you autobiography of Bobrisky, no, we are getting to something very interesting and very, very educative. So listen the whole length. So Bobrisky is an influencer and a socialite. On Instagram alone, he has almost 5 million followers and he holds similar numbers across other social media platforms. He frolics with the creme de la creme of society. He was popular actress Tonto DK's best friend. Scales the musician refers to him as family.
It's my family, bro. Always. You don't know. We're out here. I'm out here for my family.
He attends social functions with Pretty Mike. You would find BB Niger winner Fina in his clique, amongst so many others. Bobrisky is that Lagos socialite that everybody wants in their party. Bobrisky is a brand ambassador for several brands. Sophie Clothing, Designer Body, even popular American star Black China announced Bobrisky as her brand ambassador for her hair extension brand. He is said to have set the motion and created the path for modern day transgenders in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole, setting the rise for James Brown, J Boogie, oh yes, and even Bucci Alexander, and several one of them springing up by the day. I mean, at a recently concluded event, a movie premiere that was just held a few days ago. The event was filled with women of all different colors, shapes and sizes. But Bobrisky won the best dressed female at that event. Bobrisky is said to be the mother that mothered their mother.
No, so Vinci. The mother that murdered my mother. Mother and mother.
Now, we all will agree that the LGBT community is not all that popular in Nigeria. It is still seen as alien, it is still seen as immoral, still perceived as unacceptable and evil. So many people are so shocked to observe the openness and the tenacity at which Bobrisky operates and flaunts his lifestyle. The kinds of things that he would post about having sexual intercourse with other men, dating men, his sexcapades with men, even flaunting pictures of himself in erotic poses with men. He will openly brag that he has the contact of the richest and most connected men in Nigeria. In one post that he made, he listed the kinds of men that he deals with. He wrote, footballers, private jet owners, 5-star hotel owners, politicians, and real estate developers. He was so brazen and open about these things, and people folded their arms in wonder, asking, is this Nigeria that we are seeing these things, or our eyes they pain us? You see, apart from moral and religious considerations, several practices are prohibited by law in Nigeria. Same-sex relationships, same-sex marriage, and gay activities are all criminalized in Nigeria with very stiff and stringent punishments attached. In the north, in Sharia jurisdictions, the punishment can range from long terms imprisonment to even death, while in the southern region, such activities are punishable by 14 years imprisonment. So people began to wonder, and words began to get out. Is Bobrisky immune to the law? Why is a man dressing like a woman, making these kinds of posts on social media, transitioning before our very eyes? We saw when he got his boobs done, when he said he changed his genital to that of a female, and he's making this transition open on social media. We have seen several posts from him drumming his open support for the LGBT community, a community whose activities have been criminalized in Nigeria. And we have seen him on countless occasions confess to having sexual relationships with people of his gender. So people began to wonder, why is he not getting arrested? Why is he not being brought to book? Is he now a sacred cow? Is he being protected by some big boys in government? Are these people in power his lovers? How come he's so brazen and audacious about his lifestyle? Some people even began speculating that he's having some sexual relationships with senior members of the Nigerian police force. They were like, no, you can't tell us nothing. For him to be open about these kinds of things, that means he is either dating or laundering money for these politicians and these people in positions of power. This subject caused a very heated controversy on social media, or has been causing very heated controversies on social media, especially in the last 2 weeks. When confronted on the question as to why Bobrisky and people like him are allowed to operate freely and flaunt their activities on social media without any consequences or repercussions, the police spokesperson had this to say.
This question is about some of your friends who are cross-dressers. And I say your friends because people, I see how people ask you questions about cross-dressing and these moral issues that are becoming a major problem in Nigeria. How is the police reacting to those kind of situations?
Well, Sean, there are some cases that are always very difficult to prove. Fine, I'm not ruling out the fact that we have many of them. But if you, for instance, you want to prove a case of rape, rape has points to prove. If any one of those points is missing, you may lose your case in court. Let us be reasonable. You can't arrest somebody you want to prosecute without having credible evidence against such a person.
Cross-dressing is not a crime yet in Nigeria.
I don't think so, because I've not read anywhere it's an offense per se. But those, some of them that are into cross-dressing, the allegation is that they are into something else, unnatural offenses. That's where the problem lies. We need to actually have enough proof, credible evidence, to prove that they're actually into that. All those offenses are natural offenses in Nigeria, and they're punishable under our law.
So they must be careful how they
if you discover that it's not a crime in Nigeria, fine, you want to do that, you want to enjoy your liberty. But if you're into something else, that is criminal. Or natural offenses. Many people have been saying that, but let's have enough evidence to nail an individual is that dirty thing. The law will take its course.
All right.
Now, referencing what the police officer just said, let us relate it to law. Let us peep briefly section 36 subsection 8 of the Constitution of Nigeria. It says, no person shall be held to be guilty of a criminal offense on account of any act or omission that did not at the time it took place constitute an offense. In other words, you cannot be held guilty of an offense that does not exist in paper in the country. Even if it is morally wrong, even if it is widely condemned, even if it is generally criticized, as long as there is no written law that prohibits or criminalizes an offense, one cannot be held responsible or charged or punished for that offense. Now, the act of being gay or bisexual is a crime in Nigeria. There is an existing law prohibiting that act. And despite Bobrisky has come out on several occasions to imply that he's gay, there is no direct evidence to show it. He might as well, upon arrest or upon being charged to court, claim that he was just catching crews. It was just word of mouth. Nothing happened, and there will be no evidence to hold against him. What is clear about Bobrisky is that he is a cross-dresser and he is a transgender. That one does not need any proof or evidence because it is glaring. We are seeing him dress as a female and we are seeing him change his body. But the question now is being a transgender and being a cross-dresser an offense? Is that offense written in any law in Nigeria? Is there any act? Is there any decree? Is there any constitution, any code that specifically criminalizes cross-dressing or transitioning from one gender to another? No. And because of this section of the constitution that I have just read to us, it is impossible to prosecute anybody when the offense does not exist in that country. So for those that have been curious, asking the question, why is Bobrisky not being arrested? Is this not a crime in this country? There you have your answer. That is why it's very important that you subscribe to this channel, because I will not just give you gist and sentiments, I will give you the law. So when you are talking and when you are arguing, you can talk with your full chest and know that you are backed by words of the law, not by social media gibberish. So that is the position with this individual called Bobrisky. And this will be a very good time to remind you that if you're not subscribed yet, if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up already, drop your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because there is so much more coming your way. Don't also forget that our master course is up and running. Several one of you have already keyed in and are enjoying the benefits of all the knowledge that was spilled in that program. It is not your regular masterclass. It is a full program backed by empirical facts, backed by practical actions that yielded results. It will be a game changer for you if you're a content creator, and it will be an Osmos guide if you are intending to be one. So I'm going to leave all the details pinned in the comment section and in the description box as well, or you can send interested to nezemasterclass@gmail.com. See you in class. So a few days ago, Bobrisky was arrested, but his arrest has nothing to do with his lifestyle, nothing to do with cross-gender or gay activities and all of that. He was arrested and detained by men of the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and he was arrested for the offense of currency mutilation and abuse of the naira. Well, if you do not know, there is an offense existing in Nigeria that prohibits you from spraying money at functions. It is a financial crime. So at an event that was held earlier, Bobrisky was photographed spraying naira notes, and it was upon this ground that he was arrested and brought into the EFCC's custody. He has now been charged to court, and he pleaded guilty for the offense of abusing the naira, while the offense of money laundering was struck out. Now, this arrest and trial have sparked debates on social media, and for good reason. Despite it is written on paper that spraying of the naira notes is an offense in Nigeria, we will all agree that this is a practice that happens every day. Filmed and posted on social media is almost like a part of our culture. At weddings, at events, at ceremonies, it is a show of support and show of affluence when people bring up the naira notes and spray on the celebrants. So people are then wondering, why is it only Bobrisky that was picked to be prosecuted for this offense, when every day tons and hundreds of people are photographed and posted online doing the same thing? How many other people have been arrested? Is this a targeted attack on him just because he cannot be held on the other activities? A lot of people are curious to know that. They were like, this prosecution has absolutely nothing to do with spraying of the naira or that naira abuse. This is a vendetta by the government to clip his wings and issue him a subtle stern warning. And now I believe is the best time to have this conversation because it's long overdue. Look around you. A lot more people, a lot more transgenders are springing out in Nigeria every day. Even in skits. Hardly do you see a skit now that doesn't have men dressed as women. All these are subtle messages changing the mindsets of the next generation. And on this, two sets of arguments have broken out. Some people have contended that it is no man's business what another man chooses to do with his life or his body. Nigeria is in far too deep mess to be concerned with trivial things such as this. The naira is falling, bandits are all over the place, Kidnapping is on the rise, and the government has enough time on its hands to be chasing transgenders and be suing people for spraying naira notes. This set of people contend that people like Bobrisky just provide entertainment and are just living their lives. They are not hurting nobody. There are far more criminal elements in the society that should be tracked and jailed. They argue that it is time for Africans and Nigerians to wake up. As queer people, transgenders, gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and those community of people are here to stay, and we cannot keep alienating and criminalizing their activities. While some other people do not agree, they believe that these kind of things are so uncultural. They are not part of the African society. They are forbidden. They should not be allowed. If we begin to let these things be our normal, what happens to the next generation of children coming up? Are they going to grow up to be taught that it's okay to change from a man to a woman and a woman to a man? They were like, the sooner we nip this in the bud, the sooner legislators create a law to criminalize these kinds of activities, the sooner these people are tracked and punished, the better for the sanity of our society. So what do you think about this, guys? What are your opinions? There are no right or wrong answers. Do you believe that these people, Bobrisky and his clan, are not disturbing nobody? They are just living their life on their own terms, and the government should leave them alone? Or do you believe that there are a corruption and a pollution to the core of the African fabric, that their activities does not align with our culture and our morals and values, and they should be checked and stopped? Do drop your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because there is so much more coming your way. Don't also forget that our master course is up and running. So if you are desirous of learning this thing that I do and doing it well, getting results from it, and elevating your whole total content game, don't fail to send interested to Neze Masterclass or follow the directions pinned in the comment section to begin. Thank you once again, guys. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.